Hey everyone, today we're going to be taking a look at the updated edition of the Troubadour Pioneer Pack, which has been one of my favorite work/gym bags of the past couple of years. To me, the previous version of this bag was one of the more underrated options on the market. I took it with me on a couple of trips towards the end of last year and really enjoyed it. Super functional layout, very sleek style. And so when I heard that they were releasing a new edition, I was pretty excited to see what the changes would be and how it would change the experience of using the bag. And that's what I'm going to talk about in this video, as well as what it's been like to test this over the past couple of weeks. I'll show you how I've loaded it out, walk through all the features, and I'll also talk about how it compares to some of the other similar bags that are currently on the market. Before jumping into the video, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Danny, and on this channel, we love reviewing popular travel and everyday carry gear. If you like these types of videos and you'd be interested in seeing more, please consider subscribing, as it helps the channel out a lot. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. Starting off with the overall aesthetic, the appearance of the bag hasn't changed too much from the previous iteration of the Pioneer Pack, which is great because I really like the more modern, stylish appearance of that. Troubadour's bags in general seem to be designed to work with a nicer outfit if you're wearing a suit or something dressier to the office. So really great for a professional setting, but something that's not out of place for just walking around the city or traveling. And then as far as the materials, the bag feels really solidly built. This exterior fabric is a recycled polyester that's going to hold up well to rougher usage and also provide a decent amount of weather resistance. The bag itself doesn't end up getting too heavy, and then you have some nice vegan leather accenting throughout the bag, and you also have some well-protected aqua-guarded YKK zippers. Continuing along the outside of the bag, you do have one external water bottle pocket, which is different from the previous version, which had two, one on each side. So I was a little bit sad to have lost one of those pockets, but great that you still have at least one, which offers a good amount of space. It was easily able to handle my 20-ounce water bottle that I typically carry with me. Still some leftover space, good amount of elasticity, and then when the pocket's not in use, that elasticity pulls it close to maintain a cleaner overall look. On the other side, you now have a zippered pocket, which I'll take a closer look at later when we talk about the organization. And then on the front of the bag, you have the pretty subtle Troubadour logo, so I like that this isn't super prominent. And then the handle has also been updated on this version. Previously, they had one that was more on the back, and it had kind of the same vegan leather accenting as some of the other areas of the bag, but here you have this new style that Troubadour also had in the Apex backpack that we looked at pretty recently. And so this has a nice kind of rubberized texture. It comes up a decent amount, so it works well. I think this is a nice update. And then while we're talking about the exterior, I also want to call out the fact that this does manage to stand up pretty well on its own. It's been consistent. When I place the bag down next to me, I'm able to access the compartments whenever I need to. Moving into the capacity, the bag comes in at about 23-24 liters, which is a really great daily bag size in my opinion. I was able to hold all the items that I typically like to carry with me, and the bag didn't feel overwhelmingly big. And I like that even when it's a little bit more packed out, it still manages to maintain a pretty streamlined silhouette, making it great for navigating crowded areas, jumping onto public transit, and carrying onto a variety of domestic and international airlines. Continuing with the harness system, so far the bag has been really comfortable to wear. Very similar style to what we saw on the Apex 3.0 backpack, so I really like the padding that's been included here. It's very comfortable and soft right out of the box. On the inside, you have this very nice material that feels great. It's not maybe the most breathable, but haven't had any issues with moisture building up, and then these straps have a good width to help prevent the bag from digging into your shoulders when it's a little bit more packed out. On the straps, you do have this nice zippered pocket. That's going to be a great spot to store maybe some transit cards that you need to grab a little bit more quickly, some keys. It's got this gusset to really give you a little bit more space than you might expect to find on a pocket of this style, so that's cool to see. And then you do have the ability to add a sternum strap. You have these rails here. There wasn't one included with the bag that I received, but great that you can at least add them. I didn't really need that for a bag of this size. And then you have the Troubadour branding on the strap. You have some good strap management. On the back, similar level of padding. I really like how great this feels. It's a little bit thicker than what's on the straps, so you have good comfort, well distributed throughout. You also have a nice bit of elevation to create these air channels to provide you with ventilation while you're walking around throughout the day. And then you also have a nice luggage pass-through that's going to allow you to rest this on a suitcase while traveling to save some weight on your back. Jumping into the organizational options, the layout has been updated a bit here. You still have the front zippered quick access pocket with the vertical zipper orientation. So nice amount of space in this area, great for storing the items that I'm grabbing most regularly while I'm on the go, like my charger. And then I also have my USB-C hub here with a couple of cables. So for my laptop, for my tablet, I can charge everything from this typically. And then on the inside here, you also have a little lanyard with a clip that's gonna be a great spot for attaching your keys or a multi-tool. And one of the big changes is that there's no longer a exterior zippered quick access pocket at the top, which was on the previous version. I was a little bit sad to see this change, as I actually really like that style of pocket in general. So now you have this zipper pocket on the side, which kind of serves a similar purpose. It's got, you know, a nice bit of space, a little bit of a softer material here on the inside. Not quite a fleece lining, but it feels nice. And then you also have a gusset, so you can potentially use this as a secondary water bottle pocket or a place for an umbrella if you wanted to. In my case, I actually ended up using this to store my sunglasses with their case. Then I also have a retractable USB-C cable. On one side of the bag, you have a larger vertical zipper that provides access to the laptop sleeve that's on the inside of the main area, so it's not quite a dedicated compartment. We'll take a closer look at that when we get into the main area, but just wanted to call out that you do have this zipper so that you can easily remove it from the side when you need to. And then you also have a dedicated shoe compartment, which is one of my favorite things about the Pioneer line, is the fact that this works well as a gym bag or as a travel bag. You have this separate area that does have some ventilation, and then you can store a pair of shoes in here, dirty clothes. I've used this for trips where I'm traveling and dancing a lot, or when I'm using this as a gym bag. It's always great to have this separate compartment to keep, you know, your dirty stuff separate from the main area. This does eat into the main compartment, so if you put a pair of shoes in there, you'll have to kind of adjust all the items that are on the inside around that, but it's a pretty good trade-off to me for not having to carry a separate shoe bag. And then moving into the main compartment, you have this top loading style. And this does have the ability to lock, which is nice. And I really like this style of bag, even though it's not a full clamshell, because I can treat this like a top loader, especially with how well the bag stands up on its own. I can reach down, grab what I need. And with the amount of space that's offered here, again, works well with my typical modular setup. And so diving into the items that I currently have here, at the top, I have my Beats Studio wireless headphones. I have the Lockbee Tech and EDC pouch that I've been using a lot recently. I have the Evergood Civic Access Pouch 1 liter. I have an additional packing cube from Peak Design just to kind of showcase the space that I can throw things in there. And then I also have the Evergood Civic Access Pouch 2 liter. So good amount of capacity here with this open layout. And then if I bring up the shoe compartment, you can see just how far up it could potentially come out if you place a pair of shoes in there. And with the amount of space that's offered here, this could also work well for minimal travel. If I wanted to toss in a packing cube, a dop kit, an extra pair of flatter shoes, I'd definitely be able to use this for a longer weekend trip. On the back of this main compartment, the layout is pretty similar to the previous iteration. So you have some built-in organization, a couple of slip pockets. In this one here, I have my Apple Magic Mouse, and then some smaller ones that'll work well for a pen or a stylus. And then you have some deeper ones behind those, something that'll be great for holding a power bank that's a little bit larger, charging cables. And then you have a zippered compartment that doesn't go all the way down to the bottom. So still a great spot for smaller items that you don't want getting lost. I have a Field Notes notebook there, as well as a deck of playing cards. And in this compartment, you have a small area that's going to be good for storing an air tag. So like that's a little bit more hidden inside of the bag. And then on the back of the compartment, you have a laptop sleeve that has a pretty good amount of padding, especially on the back here. It's got kind of this soft material, similar style to what we saw on the Apex 3.0. The bottom of this compartment is not really pulled up as far as I would like to see. There does seem to be a slight gap and a little bit of padding, but not quite as suspended as is normally my preference, but it still feels like you get some good protection here with the back. The sleeve is also got this nice soft material. I wish this was maybe a little bit more rigid, and there's no dedicated tablet sleeve, but you know, very easy to get your device out from the top or the side. And so now with the compartment empty, you can get a better look at the inside. Really like this material here, and this does come up a decent amount. So if you happen to have a thicker device or you want to use a case with your laptop to give you a little bit more protection, it should be able to handle that just fine. And then on the other side, on the lid, you have a couple of additional mesh zippered pockets, Really like the elasticity and the material offered here. Always provides a good bit of flexibility in this bottom compartment, which will be great for hard drives, cables, tech items. I currently just have a headlamp that I like to have with me. And then above that, slightly smaller but similar style as far as the material that's used here. I currently have another Apple Magic Mouse just to kind of show the space, as well as my AirPods. Those fit in there very comfortably. And so really like the amount of space and the layout offered in this main area, and just the style of the bag. This has been one of my favorite work/gym bags for a while now. And so great to see Troubadour kind of continuing to update it as part of their lineup. I'm not crazy about all of the updates per se, particularly the loss of the top quick access pocket, but it's still a really versatile, useful bag. And if you're looking for something stylish that can work for your everyday, it's gonna be a good gym bag, and that can also be an excellent personal item for work travel. And that's gonna be a really interesting option to take a look at. And so to wrap up, it's been a pretty great experience testing out the updated edition of the Troubadour Pioneer Pack over the past couple of weeks. You can currently purchase this on the company site. It's going to come in at around $275. Troubadour's bags in general typically come in at a more premium price point, so it's definitely a bit of an investment. You are getting a very solidly built bag with a nice feature set, but there's also going to be some other great bags in this price range that may be worth considering. And so as I was testing this out, the first bag this made me think of is Troubadour's Apex 3.0 backpack, which we featured on the channel recently. That one has Troubadour's typical sleek aesthetic, solid build quality. The layout and look on that are going to be a little bit different. It has a dedicated laptop compartment, which I really liked. Very comfortable harness system, luggage pass-through, spacious main compartment, external water bottle pockets. So still a very functional layout, just a different aesthetic. And if you're looking for something that's going to work well with a nicer outfit and you like Troubadour's overall vibe, then that's going to be a great option to take a look at. The next bag this made me think of is the Air Duffel Pack 3, which has been another one of my favorite work/gym bags of the past couple of years. Very functional layout. It's got the duffel style opening, so you can load your stuff in very easily. It's going to be great for, carrying your clothes, an extra pair of shoes. It has a dedicated shoe compartment like this one. It's got external water bottle pockets, very comfortable harness system, dedicated laptop compartment that's suspended, well padded. And so, just checking off a lot of similar boxes to this. The aesthetic on it is going to be different, so it's going to have just a very unique sort of functional look. And then it's also been released recently in ultra fabric. So if you want something that's gonna have kind of that space age fabric, durability, and then the weight benefits, weather resistant that comes with it, that's a really interesting option to, kind of take a look at in that fabric or in the ballistic nylon. Still very durable, looks great. And if you want something that's gonna work great as a tech bag, a everyday bag, or a gym bag, and that's gonna be one of the best options to keep in mind. Another bag this made me think of is the Pioneer Panda Pack. I really love the organizational layout that has. Two big quick access pockets on the front, on the sides, lots of space, clamshell style opening, great build quality. It's a little bit of a newer entry into the backpack market. Luggage pass through, it's been comfortable to wear. I took it on a trip this past year overseas, and it was just a phenomenal kind of personal item, everyday bag. And it's just super useful. And if you're looking for something that has this sort of more professional, modern look, then it's gonna be an interesting option to take a look at. And then the last option that I'll mention here is the updated edition of the Modern Dayfarer Backpack, which is a really sleek tech and everyday bag. The layout on that's gonna be a little bit different. It's got a top-loading style that's got the adjustable strap on the front. It also opens up flat for easier packing. It's got the dedicated shoe compartment, comfortable harness, luggage pass-through, dedicated laptop compartment, and external water bottle pockets. So, just very, very functional, super sleek looking. And if you want something that's kind of like this with a different aesthetic and layout, then that's gonna be one of the best options to take a look at. With that being said, the updated edition of the Pioneer Pack holds up pretty well against all those options. And although I'm not crazy about all of the changes that were made to the bag, in general, it feels like Troubadour kept the majority of what made this such a useful bag with the previous iteration. And I do like the updates to the laptop area. And if you're looking for a really functional, stylish work and gym bag, this is going to be an excellent option to take a look at. And I'm curious to hear what you all think of the Pioneer Pack and how it compares to some of the other popular tech and everyday bags that are currently on the market. If there's any similar options that you think that I should check out, as always, please let me know in the comments. And I want to thank Troubadour for sending the bag for me to test out, and to you guys for watching and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.